there's a lot of angry people whose livelihoods is kind of getting crushed right now.
We not only have this preemptive lawsuit, but it's because labor laws really are built to protect the worker. The employees are saying due notice was not provided. We weren't given enough time. Elon Musk is doing a mass firing at Twitter and has reportedly cut up to half of the staff.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's sharpening his knives at Twitter because he's planning to wipe out half of the workforce. But employees are firing back with a preemptive lawsuit. The new chief twit, as Musk anointed himself after his $44 billion, okay, $1 billion purchase of the social media giant, fired off a chilling memo to his 7,500 employees on Thursday. I'll just give you a couple of sound bites here. She goes, team, in an effort to place Twitter on a healthy path, we will go through the difficult process of reducing our global workforce on Friday. Given the nature of our distributed workforce and our desire to inform impacted individuals as quickly as possible, communications for this process will take effect by email. Yikes.
It was harsh. It had to have been harsh getting just that email and just having no idea. And I heard just some of the employees, it's like, just stay tuned for follow instructions. Don't call us. We'll call you, essentially. And, people were just, they were trying to respond. Cause what are they on that thing? Slack? Is that what it was? They were talking on Slack
Yeah,
and just
so
like,
first of all, in the article, it references that they use a platform called Slack, which I'm slowly getting into with my team as well, which I thought was a fantastic shout out. If you have one of the biggest social media platforms on the planet using your platform, pretty cool. But in
it's
any
fun.
case,
No,
yes, they
it's
use
it's 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 fun. Yeah, no, when I saw that actually struck out like the one of the kind of the biggest wins for the story. I was like, oh, good for them.
well, no, so I guess what the employees are doing is that they're just like goodbye and like sad emojis but the Twitter team are trying to preemptively like stop communication, which look, I mean, I've been on the other
Yeah.
side of this, right? When one of my clients who, runs a big business has a lot of people and they have to make some firings for whatever reason, there's a lot of ripple
Yeah.
effects that happen that you have to kind of deal with because people are never happy about being fired for one way or
Well,
another.
no, and obviously we also live in a time where it's really hard, like when you're, to fire people because we see, disgruntled employees, retaliating on companies and stuff like that. And especially when you're doing a mass firing, like they shut down. So like you couldn't even they took away everybody's access from Twitter, like to get into the buildings, whatever, so they can sort everything out and make the transition because there's a lot of angry people whose livelihoods is kind of getting crushed right now. And in
Well, and
2022,
hence
people
the
are going,
preemptive
wow.
lawsuit, and it's not
Yeah.
only that, so we not only have this preemptive lawsuit, but it's because labor laws really are built, in my opinion, very well in California to protect the
Right.
worker, and so for companies, it can be kind of a pain in the ass, but you have to go through a lot of pretty stringent steps and notices and all these things. So one of the claims, as I understand it, is that, the employees are saying due notice was not provided, we weren't given enough time, so that's why they're filing this.
But they are getting hooked up with that severance. They're getting like 3 months of severance pay. So like that's pretty cool. I mean, at least that's something. He claims that it's 50% more than, what people are kind of supposed to be getting. Um, I don't know. It's pretty weird. Whenever I see like the big shake, I'm so out of like I literally signed up for Twitter like kind of when it first came out or way back in the day, and I maybe used it once because I just wanted to follow one or two accounts, and then I logged in and never logged in again. So like I totally missed the whole entire Twitter boat. I've never sent one tweet in my life, so I always feel like, as an entitled American, that, why are they still around? I don't use it. So I'm just out of the loop.
Well, and obviously it's still a huge,
A huge
social media
platform.
platform, and, obviously Musk comes in with obviously investor dollars and bank dollars and things like that to do his 44 million acquisition, but it's his company, right? So as a private business owner, you can do whatever you want, basically. Now, one of the things that came up this week, I don't know what the update is, and let me know if you guys do, but with the, check marks, with the
Yeah.
blue check marks. So Elon was talking about having the $8 subscription so that you can actually buy the check mark. It's gotten a lot of
Right.
pushback.
I don't know exactly how that's going to work, but that kind of feels like it's going to discredit the entire platform if you can just buy your check mark. I mean, I look for the check mark to make sure that I know that you are, valid, that you are official, that you have some kind of credibility behind you. So yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know how it's going to work, but again, I'm not even on Twitter anyway, so it's not going to affect my life at all. Jen says they're bleeding money. Yeah, it's a great idea. Yeah, no, he said that they're losing like $4 million a day. So like the
Yeah.
cuts had to be made. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's Elon's
Well, and I just,
company to
obviously,
rework.
I'm wondering if that's just because he thinks that the staff isn't needed, right? So they're bleeding money, they're hemorrhaging, and maybe it's because there's too much customer support
Yeah,
staff, right? People aren't
yeah,
doing their jobs. I mean, that's usually what happens when new management comes in, or management comes in and replaces people and says, "Well, I have this one person that can do the job for 10 people." Now I'm not hearing anything about new hires, just the fires,
right.
but obviously there's a significant pushback by way of legal process and this preemptive lawsuit.
Yeah, no, and I also was kind of shocked to see, for as expensive as it was, even Diddy threw some money at it too.
That's
He
right.
invested like 10 million because Elon got other investors as well. I don't know,
So
make a purchase.
we did a quick poll on YouTube. Do you or our viewers use Twitter? 60% of you said yes, 40% of
Good to
you said
know.
now, I publish to Twitter, right? So as my Miss Crystal artistic, side, I also publish on Top Music Attorney. But it's still not a main platform by any means. And it's always just been something that I don't know why I didn't connect with it. But hey, with good management comes new opportunities. So we'll continue to follow and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, it's obviously hemorrhaging. I mean, you remember when MySpace, when everybody made the jump from MySpace to Facebook, and then MySpace just like totally kind of failed, and then Justin Timberlake was kind of brought back on to try to save MySpace, and then that didn't work either. So I don't know if this is we're last ditch efforts to kind of save Twitter. If they're losing 4 million a day, but maybe it is as simple as just cutting half your force and streamlining some things, putting some fees in place.
I
Got to
don't
make
know.
Tesla.
A $44 million trying to save it as the ship is going down. I hope that's not the case.
Yikes.